Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense.
They'll be led by a three-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Deshaun Watson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Watson on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
And the Ravens are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, the Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. 5 yards, and that means they come up short, as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
They'll try the air now with Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that 1st down marker. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Hunt. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Jackson. Buying time to his left.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jackson now. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle.
7 yards to pick up there. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Jackson going to look to do it himself.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back to the ground. This time it's Joe. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And now we see Bryant yet to pop up. Still down following that play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Watson now to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the gun, Jackson. It's complete to Fuller. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And
a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And this Browns defense stands tall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens 39. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. They give the Chubb out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down at 4, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Jackson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Going to be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. David Njoku and the rest of the offense heading back out onto the field. And as we look at his highlights, you know, sometimes I've asked you schematically, how do you stop one player? Well, how do you stop a tight end like this without opening up other holes, partner?
You show your basic defenses, whether you're playing the 3-deep zone, the 2-deep zone, but you have your variations underneath it. So sometimes instead of the safety staying deep, the safety will drop down. A sky coverage, they call that. Sometimes the corner's responsible. You get a little, what they call a cloud, someone coming underneath. Sometimes the linebacker shows the ability to rush the passer and instead drops down and tries to get underneath the tight end as he tries to run routes. So many different things you can do from basic sets.
Trying to prevent those highlights we saw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level. And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And able to find Allen Lazard. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And we're going to have a break in the action. As you can see, Mark Andrews is yet to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in here by Fuller.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And it's caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman
with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker with the extra point, and it will tie our game here in the 3rd. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter.
Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A run for Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
58 yards on the ground for him now, as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him, because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense? They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd and 6. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
When they put the ball in J.K. Dobbins' chest and he carries it, he runs with a lot of determination and aggressiveness. Just one start last year as a rookie, but still managed 805 yards and 9 touchdowns. I think he's ready for a big year 2 leap. Now the lead runner for the Baltimore Ravens.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal. That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I have to think that the wheels are really spinning in their play caller's mind now. That little setback there on 1st down. They'll have 3 more shots if that's what it takes, because they've got to take field goals out of their thought process. They need a touchdown and a conversion to tie this game. What play calls does he have on that sheet?
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
On 1st down, Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I remember Coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Throwing on third down, Watson. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
From the 50, it's Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Again, it's Watson.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through three corners, no reason to lighten up now. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Chubb. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Watson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year.
And the Browns answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And his throw is incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Anthony Walker with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And out will come the offense as they take over. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From just shy of midfield, Watson looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 44, Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Second and 10.
Jackson.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Walker. 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
After the interception, here's Watson. That's caught. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25.
And now here come the Ravens.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
That catch good for only a couple. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Jordan Elliott busting through to get him for a loss of 6. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too. All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year.
And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is Jakeem Grant.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So here are the Browns to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
On second down, right back to Hunt.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
2nd and 5.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together